right, cool.
I really think that's good to get because you never know.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, welcome to
We
Are you
good?
ready?
But he never got the Birdman.
Yeah, man.
Well, you doing all that? I can jump back in.
All three.
I don't do that.
Mr. Jones, by the way, y'all.
The cameraman is gonna be working real hard. He's working real hard.
There we go.
All right, let's get it.
Yes. He really working a major job.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, welcome to Around the Island. I'm your host, Nikita.
I'm your host, Evan.
I'm your host, Jasmine.
I'm your host, Jermaine.
I'm your host, Rich.
I'm your host, Sherry.
And this is Around the Island. Let's see, where do we start? Jermaine, you want to kick us off with a prayer?
Let's kick that off, man. Everybody bow your head and close your eyes. Father God, in the precious name of Jesus, we are coming to you as humble as we know how, God, to just say thank you again for this opportunity to come together in fellowship, Father God. Thank you for blessing us with the opportunity, God, and the platform to show what love looks like, what love is, and more importantly, God, to show how much we love you so that you may be glorified, God. Your word says where 2 or 3 gather, you are in the midst. So as you are here right now, God, we feel your presence. We honor your presence. We are asking right now, God, that your presence just come onto each of us, God, and allow this conversation, God, to glorify and edify the kingdom. Show love, be loved. We thank you again for this opportunity. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Sharon and Rich, thank y'all for joining us
Yeah.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you so
us.
much for being here.
Thank you for having
So
us.
we're going to kick this off with how you met your spouse, because we did the last 2 podcasts, and I guess we should have started there, but we're going to start there today. So anybody want to go first? with y'all's
Oh no,
story?
we might just let this be the first pod.
Yo,
Go ahead.
First- I know our story is crazy and long, so y'all want us to go first? Y'all want to do y'all's story?
Let us throw ours in.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear y'all too, since off camera we found out how y'all story
Okay.
kind of connects. So that's awesome.
Let's start with.
That's
Let's
awesome.
just be good guests.
Go ahead.
Let's
Y'all do y'all thing.
Okay, so we're house music lovers. It's just amazing what that spirit does and how that vibe is. And so one night I was with my girlfriend, and it was a house event in off of Charles Street. I remember the street. And she said, let's go hear so-and-so play. I forget the DJ's name. And I said, okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. So I went there, and I really, really enjoyed the vibe from the DJ that was playing. And so, of course, I love to dance, and I was dancing. And she said, oh, let me introduce you to. And the rest is history.
Wow.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Surprised we got the short story.
Yeah,
Our story is long.
You want more?
Listen,
Finish
let's
it.
let
Go ahead and finish it.
Let's
Go ahead and finish
Because
it.
you know our story is always different from our story. It's always, it's always
fill it in.
2 different
Finish
stories.
it. Pick up.
The way it happened.
Oh!
Here's
This
the
is
real
how it all
story.
started.
Here's the real story.
That's it.
Come on now.
We were at Grand Central on Charles
Ooh.
Street.
Okay.
Okay, you remember the name.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Make me feel.
Okay.
He Googled the story. The rest of them.
My man Ike was DJing, and it was a new situation that he had playing at this place. And like she said, it was house music. So I went down there to support him. It was around 4th of July because nobody was there. Nobody was there because
You gonna make me look like that? You remember the month?
Right, like,
Ooh, I'm not feeling good right now. Go ahead, man.
as I was saying,
Right.
nobody was really there because most of the house music community was in Chicago, but they have a big festival around 4th of July in Chicago every year. So, and plus it was a new situation for that particular DJ. So I went there, and as she said, from there it was pretty much for it. You know, a friend, a mutual friend of hers, acquaintance of mine, and the acquaintance of hers I met through, because I DJ myself, and we met through her hearing me DJ.
Okay.
So we were introduced that night, and she couldn't keep her eyes on me.
I knew it was coming.
Oh my This
her
is
eyes
funny.
Couldn't
off,
keep the eyes
and
on.
It was like, she got on the dance floor and she
Yeah.
was doing a she was doing a thing, and it was like,
Hey,
it was like, you know, in my mind, all I heard was, look at me, look at me.
hey, yo.
But I just let it be. You know, I played it cool. You know, I saw who she was. And, you know, we went on about our business, and we didn't really connect that night.
Right.
Later that year, or was it the next year? No, it was later.
It was that year.
It was later that year,
Mhm.
because it was the date was July 27th.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Right in the exact.
Oh,
Okay.
The 28th.
I was gonna say, you're off a day, but go ahead. Go ahead.
And the reason why I know that is because the day before I was just getting back from DC from seeing J&B on the Run tour.
Okay.
And I placed mixes online, and she reached out to me through the chat, through the website. I like your music, you know, you're the hottest dude I've
That was
ever
it.
seen.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
That was it.
I like this.
You undersold the story right here.
Yeah.
I like this.
I like how you skipped a lot. You skipped a
I didn't know how much time y'all had.
We got it.
It was a little creepy, but
Hey, no.
it was
It was not. It was not.
It was a little creepy, but the smile was nice on her profile picture.
Always compliment. Always end with a compliment. End with a compliment.
The smile was nice. I said, yeah, okay. So, how would you like a private session?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I'm still doing private sessions.
Okay.
My God.
Okay.
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 Yeah,
End of
I like
story.
That was it.
Hey, yo.
Okay.
There you
was
go.
it.
Okay.
That was Sharon, you left out a lot.
I didn't know how much time we had, you know.
Listen, man. We want y'all to get it all out. Come on. What we doing? We gonna-
That was the short. That was the correct short version.
Correct. Short. I like it.
like that.
I like it.
All right,
I
so
need
you
more
want
time.
me to give my version or you want to give your version?
I don't know.
I get
Your version is shaky.
No, yours the shaky one.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it real. Let's go.
You want me to keep it all the way down?
Anytime.
Yeah, I'm keeping
Okay.
it real. No, don't steal my
I
thunder
want to
though.
hear this one.
You say your version.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, okay.
So we met in the 3rd grade. I transferred to a new school. We were in the same class.
I'm just letting you know if I hear you say something crazy, I'm jumping right in.
Right
And
in.
this young man
I'm about
in
to
the
say, I
3rd
heard
grade.
He was a boy. He was not even
He was
man.
a
Exactly.
boy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a
was a
boy.
boy.
He lied on me
Ooh.
in elementary school. So when I went home and told my mother
I
about
didn't lie.
it was a lie.
What I did, listen,
lie.
what I had, listen, see, I have the gift of prophecy.
Yo,
Okay.
prophesy.
But it's not a lie.
That's
We
what I
didn't
had.
do that. We didn't
I
do
have the
that.
gift of prophecy.
So
Well, continue.
he lied on me. And I went home and told my mother what he said, or what was said that he said about me. So she was like, what? I want to meet his parents. We need to go to the school for a conference right now. So we wound up having to have a conference with the principal and his mom and dad and my mom. And my mother, she was just like, oh, I was thinking that I was going to go to the school and this little boy was going to be rude. His parents were going to be rude, but she was like, his parents, they were lovely people. It was really nice. And she was like, we had a conversation. It was an understanding. She was like, and he's so cute. I was like, okay, whatever. So throughout the years, my mother just would ask like,
Oh, you skipping.
Ooh.
Jeez, man. You didn't even say what the, listen.
you want to tell
You
me
gonna
why?
tell the
You want
lies?
to keep it real.
I was waiting for the
Yeah,
lie.
listen,
Y'all say
listen.
what the lies
It can't be so bad in 3rd grade.
No, it was rough.
Okay.
It was a
you know
little
where
rough.
the
He said
bushes are?
rough.
You know where the bushes
rough.
are? The bushes used to be outside the school,
Right.
on the up by the hill.
Mhm.
He told the kids in our class that he had sex with me in the bushes.
In
In
3rd
3rd
grade.
grade.
In 3rd grade.
But that's what boys do. That's what boys do.
Prophesizing.
I got your back.
I'm saying, like, listen.
We've never done that. We've been married for 6 years this year. We've never done that, so that's a lie.
But what I'm
Keep
saying,
words.
see, listen.
Prophesy.
You know how the Bible use?
No.
They kind of use analogy. You know what I'm saying? It's like the
Analogy.
bushes was representative of the bed.
Oh.
You know, of every place that we have.
Go ahead, man. Explain
Okay.
that purpose. Explain
I love
the
it.
purpose. Disciples,
You know,
man.
like he was in me, he was flowing through me, like, you know.
The
But you
prophecy,
didn't even
man.
go ahead, babe.
All right, so because I wasn't gonna put you out there with you.
No, I told we keeping it real. We keeping
Keep
it
it
real.
real.
Great.
So yeah, throughout the years, my mother would ask like, well, "How is Evan? Where is he?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't heard from him." So one day I was at work, and it was just one of the days where I got to work. I was like, "Whatever. I'm just going to fix my hair, whatever." And I feel like I want to put on some clothes today and look a little nice at work. I was a manager at a pizza place, so I was at work and he came walking in the door. Like I remember how he walked up the steps. I remember what he had on.
What?
Everything. He had just got off from work. So
No coincidence.
his dad sent him into
Again.
my job.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
His dad sent him into my job to get food because he used to like the food from there. And he was like, "Oh, I don't feel like going. I'm tired. I just got off from work." He was almost home when his dad told him to come in there.
I was steaming.
He was mad. He was hot.
Rest in peace, Pop, but
Yeah.
I was hot.
Peace, Pop.
Yeah, I was hot.
Yes, rest in peace.
He's the reason that all this happened.
Yeah, sure.
So he walked in. I was like, "That's Evan."
Yeah.
Spoke it into.
I was like, "That's Evan." So we wound up just talking that day, and you know how like you can feel somebody looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember I was over the sink and I was like washing dishes at work, and I was talking to him like this. And
Hey,
I could feel him staring at my butt.
This gonna be
I was
fun.
like, he was
Hey,
Stand at your butt.
I'll wait, yo. I'm
See?
gonna
Go ahead.
Oh, we getting gully. Come on, we gonna get gully
You
today.
said tell a story.
Yeah, all right, let's
Like
go.
this.
Let's
So-
go. Why'd you skip this part?
No, I'm not gonna skip this. Well, I don't know what you talking about.
Let's go. Let's go.
So we talked like, and I was like, you know, whatever. So I said, we got into this conversation, like you said, we met at an elementary school. So we were like, "You remember such and such and such and such?" We went to school with, and it was just like genuine conversation.
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah, I do remember."
Okay.
I was like, "Yeah, I do remember whatever." So then he was like, he said, "Yo, what's your phone number?" Now this is where we always say it was two different things that happened, because I said he asked me for my phone number.
Okay.
He said I just gave him my phone number, but he asked for my number. We both had iPhones.
You went back to 95, try to write it down on a piece of paper.
off the
We both got iPhones in our hand. You trying to write your number down on a piece of
He's
paper.
like, "You really gonna write your number down on a piece of paper? We both have iPhones." I was like, "Okay, well, here, this is my number."
Hey, yo.
Back to
Hey,
95. Like, what?
Wow.
What's going on?
So he took the food home, and later on that day, I was at work. It was slow, so I was like, "Let me just text him."
I love how you just witnessed that. I love how you just did
I
that.
was leaning over the register. I finished washing all my dishes while you were staring at me.
No,
So-
no. Y'all, you real slick.
Fellas,
We are
fellas,
talking. Listen,
So,
you doing
I
this for the
texted-
cameras. You
no,
showing
I
me.
texted him and said, "What's
I
up?"
love how you did
He
that.
said, when I said what's up, he knew he had it because he tried to.
Ooh.
Hey, yo.
Oh, you got your story. No, you
So I'm saying,
tried.
no, we did run into each other every once in a while. So like when we would run into each other, he would ask for my phone number. I would give it to him, but we never really connected. So that particular time when he got my phone number, he was like, "Oh, I got her now because she texted me first and asked me, asked me what was up." So, but at that time, I was in school. I had a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, and he was like, "I'm not even looking for a girlfriend." I was like, "I'm not looking for a boyfriend." But in my mind, I was like, "Is that a challenge? Like, you gonna tell me you're not looking for a girl? I bet you I could be his girlfriend."
Oh.
Hey, yo.
Okay.
In my mind, I was like, "I'm gonna get him watch."
The
What's
look
your
on
name?
his-
The rest
look on
is
his
history.
face right now,
I know.
yo, it's just like,
He
yo,
said we
this
left
is-
some parts out. What part you leave
No,
out?
because I love. Listen, we've told this story. We've had this conversation a million times. Never have you ever said that the only reason you hit me up.
Only because I said I was slow at
No, you
work.
never. No,
love
I like how you pulled that out the bag
I
today.
said slow at work,
I like
so
how you
texted
pulled it out.
and
No,
said,
you pulled it out
"What's up?"
today. No, you tried to. Oh, it was.
Well, what you said?
No, you tried to hit me with. It was nothing else to do. So I'm gonna hit you like
Hey, yo.
no,
Let
we
me-
not,
let me see.
not gonna, we not gonna do that. First of all, if y'all paying attention, she definitely said as soon as I walked in, she was like, "That's Evan." So
Yeah.
that let you know where I stood, right? Automatically.
All right.
So just pay attention.
Drop mic.
Drop mics, right?
Pick
So
that microphone back
I love
up.
how you try to hit me with that. Like, no, this is the first time you ever say, "Oh, it was slow."
I'm not
Nothing
saying
else to
that I
do with
text
that.
you because, it's nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It was slow
You was
at
feeling
work.
me. So you was feeling me, babe. It's cool. It's fine. Listen, y'all. She thought I had my parents' car.
Say this again.
I pulled up. Listen, it was something slight. All I had, I said a what is it? 2006 Honda Accord. It was cool at the time. It was back in what? 2010 we started talking. So yeah, a few years old, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. But she thought I had my parents' car. Right? Now what does that mean?
I did.
What does that mean?
I did.
Listen,
I said
man.
that.
So you made another mention that I was looking at your butt.
You were. Now that part.
So what's the other side of that? I don't want to get too graphic on here. We got kids in the room.
Okay.
But your eyes were below the belt as well. Let me just say it like that.
Hey, yo.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
All right,
you
cool.
Gucci. Tell
Right,
the truth.
yeah. Your eyes was below the belt as well. Yeah,
Were
so
they
let's-
gray? I'm
They
sorry.
was black.
Hey, yo.
Listen, but
Everything.
Flag on the flag.
flag on the flag.
That's it.
My bad.
But no.
King y'all can-
Like how you just like casually skipping over, just like, oh, I'm
Yo, it's in this cup right now.
I'm gonna mention this and I mention that. I told you, I'm on this
Sure,
mic.
sir.
This mic is hot. I'm keeping it real.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man. So, but most of what you said was true. We did meet in the 3rd grade. I do vividly remember seeing her for the first time sit across the table from me. She had on all white. I will
Wow.
never forget that ever.
Maybe not.
And I remember just having this.
Because my skirt was too small.
Oh.
I don't remember that part.
They made me
But I
stand at the top of
remember.
the hill outside the cafeteria door.
Yeah,
I
we
had
don't
to stand
play
out
that.
there.
Mhm.
My skirt was too little.
I remember having the thought to myself like, "Wow, she's beautiful."
In 3rd grade.
In the 3rd grade, bro. In the
Yeah.
3rd grade, she is the only woman that I've shot my shot at multiple times. Because normally I'm not even that dude. I don't even approach women. And that's not to say that I'm too good to approach women. It's just that
Didn't approach me. I don't have a reason.
that to keep it real with y'all, like yo, my confidence level wasn't where it was supposed to be in order for me to even
Okay.
do that at all. So
Right.
yeah, I didn't do a whole lot of that.
Appreciate that honesty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
facts.
So that's like introvert.
Introvert,
Yeah.
yeah, like, and then also just like growing up with a dark skin complexion, like. Depending on who you grow up around, like they'll make you feel really bad about
True.
your skin
Yeah.
complexion.
True.
Like so, just all that coupled with, I'm a boy at the time, young man. I don't really totally know how to dismiss what they saying about my complexion and
Right.
see the strength in it. So all I had was everything just popped. So yeah, I didn't do that a whole lot, but she was the only woman that I shot my shot at multiple times. The other times I wasn't correct. I was definitely my motive was off.
It
Yeah,
spoke
it was.
on what you talked about earlier
Yeah.
in that text message. It was like something about approaching the person at the
At the
wrong,
wrong
right
time.
person at the
wrong
wrong
time.
time.
Yeah.
We always talk about that. If we would have
We'd have blew it.
engaged at that time, those times we weren't ready, it wouldn't have been what it is.
Right.
today.
Yeah,
So
I
it
can say that.
Exactly.
had-
Timing.
it
Timing is
had-
important.
Yeah, it happened when it was
We
supposed to
would
happen.
have blew it. Like I think God honestly was just not allowing us to even see each other at certain points in our life.
We talked about that.
Like we went to the same middle school together. I have no recollection of her
It's- see?
at all.
Yeah.
And you were there.
And we were there with each other.
Same
Like we
people
know
in the
we
class,
all the
everything.
same people in the class, but I have no
Bro,
recollection of encountering
Same
with her
high
at all.
school, same high school,
Yeah.
multiple mutual college friends,
Wow.
same clubs.
Yes. Never
Social
saw each
media,
other.
Social media, to be honest. I don't remember
Same for
that.
us.
And never saw each other, like
No.
until it was like time. And even when it was time, I was still stupid and messed it up at time. Like God
Yeah.
kept us here, but like
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
man.
crazy.
So
Perfect timing for everything. Perfect
yeah,
timing.
man. It was truly a blessing. Like yeah, man, and so
Is
throughout.
that my bad? Is that white dress part the same part from the? I don't want to call it no disco, but is that the same white dress from the photo, the infamous photo?
No, that was
No,
graduation.
no, that was graduation.
Oh.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you,
You
man.
had multiple white
Yeah.
white
Yeah.
outfits.
Love that
It was
part.
multiple outfits.
So
Yeah.
we also, what I found out years later,
After we got
this
together.
photo that I'm about to speak about was from graduation in 5th grade.
Wow.
So we didn't get together. We were 23 when we finally got together. So all those years go by from 5th grade to 23. We get together, and I finally find out that there's a picture that exists from us in the 5th grade from graduation, where it looks just like a marriage photo.
Really?
Yeah, like a wedding picture.
Wow,
Like it's
I
just,
wanna see that picture.
It's like
We
me,
can't find
right?
it.
I know, right? I have no idea where that picture. I'm so mad
Oh,
about
we
that.
can find
but,
that picture.
like I have on a black and white suit. She's in her white dress.
A puffy white
Puffy
dress.
white
They
dress.
got sleeves.
All our friends are just like your typical
Right.
wedding
Right.
photo will look, and just look just like that. Just all those years ago.
Interesting.
Like I said, that's
And
why I
I
say,
showed it
babe.
to him.
That's
Like
why I
you
said I had the
prophecy,
gift of.
man.
Thank you, man.
Prophecy, bro.
I had the gift of prophecy. The
Yeah.
bush was a little crazy. I did go sideways with the bush, but the bush was just.
What was
you know,
that part of that time though?
It was part of that time,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just I was just speaking it into. It's cool.
Yeah.
We good, man. But
Look
we
at you guys now.
we had it
See?
there exactly,
And
man.
I'm
See?
putting it all right up
That's
my show right now.
That's it.
So how many years is it now?
It's been what
That was
13,
we been together.
13 years. Been married for 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't the easiest thing at all, man. But
Come on.
It's,
Hey,
it's still not the
It's
easiest thing.
still not
It's-
easy.
so,
Come on.
Hey.
it's
Still
still
not
not.
easy.
It's still not
But
easy.
we
but
rolling.
Yep.
It is.
We gonna keep the wheels rolling.
It's truly. It's a pleasure though, man. Like I feel blessed every day to get up and go through this thing called life with this woman and the kids that we have and the things that we're building. Like I feel extremely privileged. But
Yeah, it's your turn.
Hard,
Now it's your
man.
turn.
The newlyweds, y'all.
Oh, newlyweds. Nice.
Newlyweds, man.
So
Like
you
y'all.
gonna tell the real word, or you gonna tell the real word?
You know that story not the same as ours, so
Oh, you know,
We
so-
see it
no,
different.
I'm gonna tell
No,
the
we
real
tell the
story.
real story.
I'm gonna tell the real story as real as I can with my parents.
You have the-
Your parents in the room. I love it.
You
Oh
got
my
the real
God.
version, then you got the Disney version.
No, man. Parents ain't kids in the room. So,
Right.
but no, like I said, man, me and Jazz, we both went to Oakley High School, man. Shout out to any alumni from Oakley.
Yay.
Went to Oakley High School, never saw each other, never crossed paths. We have a ton of mutual friends from college. I went to Morgan.
Go Bears.
One of my good girlfriends were friends with your friends, and
Mhm.
we never knew each other.
Never crossed paths. Never crossed paths. So many nightclub instances. Never crossed paths. Man, like God's timing is right on
perfect.
time.
Everything,
Right on time.
man.
It's perfect.
So,
everything.
oh shoot, let me tell. You want me to tell you the first night, or you want me to tell
So let me
where?
just go back.
Yeah, go
So-
ahead. Before I start.
Before I met him, I was on this self-love journey, just staying to myself. I went through a really bad breakup with my son's father, so I was kind of like in my own little world, loving me. And we were friends on social media, and we would kind of like say things back and forth, but we didn't really like go into detail. And he slid in my DMs on something spiritual. 'Cause at that time, I was like,
You hit it with the spirit and the DMs.
In the DMs. Go ahead, bro. You talking about confidence.
I love God.
Go ahead now.
I love God.
Love it.
But we got-
spiritual thing, like, hey, so this book, you like this book?
Go ahead now.
I forgot who the author was.
I forgot. So this is the thing. So this is I knew I had a moment. So we both in that same phase. We in that same phase of like that whole self-improvement.
Yeah, that's what we were.
Want to become my best version of
Right,
myself.
right,
We
right,
were both
right.
in that season. I was coming off of a divorce and a bad breakup. And a bad breakup. So I'm going through this whole, I'm gonna just love myself, I'm gonna become the best version of me. I'm in the gym trying to look like a rock, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the gym, I'm watching T.D. Jakes and Pastor Stephen Furtick every day, trying to strengthen my mind, and David Goggins. So I'm reading a book by the brother Hill Hall. He has a really good book.
Yes,
He has a
yes.
really good book called Letters to a Young Brother.
Yep.
Really good book. And I was in that phase of my life where I'm reading books to kind of strengthen my mind. On her Instagram story, which I have no clue how we became Instagram friends. I don't know who followed who first. I don't know how we found each other, but we found each other. A book crossed on her screen of another author that I was looking into, reading soon. So I'm like, oh, you reading that? I'm thinking about reading that. Like, I knew what my intention was. Like, I'm about to get it. I'm about to get it. But I was being genuine. I definitely was trying to look into the book. But so we going back and forth, exchanging book information. Maybe about 2 or 3 weeks later, she left me on read on Instagram for like a day. So she finally come back on Instagram like, my bad, I'm sorry, I ain't on here that much. Just text me.
Oh.
And I was like, I got it, man. So we ended up texting. She went out with her girls late one night, man. And it's like 12:30, tell her she shanked up.
It was late at night.
It was late,
and,
super late.
I was not you know, when I was in the world, you know, I was out partying and I was drinking, and I lived at the time, it was too far to drive home, so we were like talking back and forth. He was like, well, won't you just come to my house? You know, I don't want you driving like that, you know. And
That was it was genuine. It was right on time. Right on time.
You know, I was intoxicated or whatever. I'm thinking, you know what, you're right. Like, I don't want to be driving like this. So I did come over there. But my intentions was to go, you know, stick on the couch, get up in the morning, go home. And so, yeah.
And then,
Not tipsy,
and
though.
And then we married. Let me throw this in there. It happened at the perfect time. Because had she met me in that weird phase, man, where I was going through like my dog phase, my how to be a player Bill Bellamy phase, like this is the dangerous trap of that love me phase. Like that love yourself phase is it's a positive, it's positive, but it's pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
But it's very dangerous because it makes you very, very
Self-absorbed.
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 It's all about you.
Yep, it's
like,
all about
I don't
you.
go away with anybody else's feelings to satisfy my own. But I will say this, like when she came into my life, because she was such a high value woman and she had her standards, it kind of forced me to kind of step up my standard.
Wow.
Like I'm going to her church now. Like I love my church. And shout out to Central Christian Church in Whitemont. That's where I got baptized and recommitted my life. But she introduced me to her church. We had night service at the time. They had night church, which was just better for my schedule. I praise God better at 6 p.m. And just 9 in the morning on Sundays don't really work for me. Right. But that's what we're doing now. But she dragged me into her church, and from there, me and her built such a spiritual, like a very strong spiritual connection.
Awesome.
Very strong spiritual connection.
Awesome.
And because of that, because I dived so deep into that with her, I ended up pruning off a lot of the negative influences that I kind of had around. Like I love my circle from 2019, 2018. Like I love them for that period in my life, but the season that I'm moving in now, like he'll tell you. Like I probably call you. Yeah, you probably like 50, 60% of my calls off, man. Just to talk and vibe back and forth. I'm calling my pops now.
Because you need that.
Yeah,
very encouraging. Very.
Go ahead. My bad, kid.
What we learned was that when you cut certain things off, that's when God blesses you with what it is or what you're supposed to be at that time. Because my crew at that time, when we first started talking, I had to let that go. It was like,
yeah, that's all I'm gonna say with
that. But I didn't like. I think it took for somebody to say one time, what is it, birds of a flock? Or something like that.
Birds of a feather flock together.
We hang
That's
and
what
we
Mama
party,
told me.
but at the end of the day, they go do whatever they go do, and I'm calling him like, hello,
what you doing?
Yeah, like no. So I was like, I don't want to be associated with that.
Absolutely.
So once I let that go, and I think
that was wow, man. Wow.
You know what's good?
I'm sorry.
I'm about to
we
say.
started hanging out with her, so it was like, ooh, you know, it was like, you know, like, so it got to the point where we were like, okay, well, let's go. If we're gonna go out, let's go out. So now our thing is, I love going out.
Yes.
We like more so staying in the house, but now we both kind of like going out, but we go out together. We find stuff to do together. Like we find ourselves like hanging out on Saturdays when we off, or during the week when we have stuff to do. We're together. Like
You gotta
this
build
is
that
my best
friendship.
friend. Yeah, so we
Friendship,
That's
saving
base.
relationship.
Yeah.
You need that.
That's one thing I will say. I forgot to mention this too. By us meeting each other in the 3rd grade, yo, the respect level was so high for each other when we came together. Like
it wasn't just like
it was like yeah, we went we went 2 months with no arguments. 2 months.
Wow.
That was like God's way of saying, listen, I'm gonna give y'all this.
enjoy this.
Enjoy it.
The honeymoon period.
Yeah.
Man, but after that, boy,
It started happening.
it started happening. But yeah, man, the respect level was so high just
It
based
was.
off the friendship.
Well,
Like it's
can
so
I
important.
get each of y'all to kind of comment on that though, like couple wise? I know how me and Jazz kind of perceive the. I'm gonna just call them arguments. The arguments, like I want. What is y'all perception on that now? Because I think a lot of, and we kind of spoke on this the last episode, couples have like this false sense of reality as far as what a relationship is. Like, hey man, like yo, we arguing too much. It's time to call it quits. Or we arguing too much. That's a sign that we ain't supposed to be together. Like, no, we have two great healthy couples right here, 3 including us. Like, no, we argue, man, but like it's being able to kind of do that in love. Like, how do y'all handle that? Whoever wants to go first.
Can you speak on
Ladies
that?
first.
Okay, so we was just talking about that. How do you create the balance with agreeing to disagree? And we're still working at it. You know, we're still working at it. It's a thing where I'm the person, when you have a conflict, I'm the type of person that I'll say, okay, we have a conflict. I eat at you, you eat at me, but let's move on. I'm a mover on. Okay, I'm done with it.
We talked about that last
I'm done with it. I don't carry it.
Can you define what that means though? Define what is moving on? What is
Moving
that?
on is we talk about it, and then for me, it's over with. You know, once we talk about it, it's over with.
No, what she means is she said what she said and she's gone.
I'm over it.
I mean, for real.
It isn't because that's my tolerance. I don't have no tolerance because I grew up in a home where my father would fuss with my mother, and I said I don't want to argue in my relationship. We're gonna disagree, but I'm at this point where okay, you were right, or I was wrong, or I was right, you wrong. Let's move on.
No, I was right, you was wrong. But see, the thing of it is,
Go ahead. Oh, we about to have many microphones. I'm about to make
but for real, and I can only speak for myself. You know, when you come from a place of, well, when I look at my parents, they were together for 50 years, and you know, they didn't allow me to see the arguments, all the arguments.
Exactly.
Let me go with that.
That's true.
And the thing of it is, you know, you look at TV and you get this Disneyland perception of what a relationship
So
is
dangerous,
supposed
yeah.
to be.
Yeah, so
So if I have a problem with you 3 times, 4 times out the month, oh, maybe we shouldn't be together or whatever.
Yeah.
Nope.
And I'm the type that I want a full resolution at the end of that said argument.
Same.
I don't want to have this where she said she said what she said and she's on her way. Oh no, I'm steaming. I'm
That elephant's still in the room. Yeah.
Hold up. Can I put this one out there?
Go ahead.
One day, here we go.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
I hope this helps someone.
I don't remember what the argument was about. But when she said, you have a chemical imbalance.
Hey, yo. She a teacher.
I like that.
She a
I'm about to say,
Hey, yo.
Through the roof.
He was gone.
Through the roof.
Hey, yo.
I am spazzing.
Yeah.
I'm gone. And then the craziest part for me, the next day I was like, do I?
Yep, you knew. Yep, you knew. That was a reality check.
And the funny thing about it is,
Yo, that's worse than getting cussed out. Yo, you get hit with something like that.
I ain't gonna put that
So much
That's getting
too.
cussed
He
out.
has limited my vocabulary to SAT Saturday.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm a city night, and that's the way we talk. You
I'm
know,
a
on a consistent.
warrior.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Y'all are
Shout out to the Knights.
The thing about it is, in saying that, educationally, we come from 2 different places. You know what I'm saying? But we still land, you know, in a financial realm or in a life realm at the same place. You know, but I got it, if you would, she is like this, out the mother. Where she got it out the crystal ball. You know? And the funny thing about that story I just told, that statement, you're chemically imbalanced. It was Thanksgiving. And
He remember dates.
Yeah, he remember dates like a man.
And this is the thing, I don't remember dates. I have to remind him to remind me. I'm not
last
good with dates.
Thanksgiving, I shared that with her. I said, you know, the other day when you said that I was chemically imbalanced, I told her what I just said.
Right.
And I had to think about it the next day. Emma, she was crying.
Crying.
And I said it, I left, I went to the bathroom, I come back. my cousin sitting beside us like, what did you say to her?
Because I don't remember saying it, really.
She's literally acting like she really has a problem. She's laughing so hard.
Oh my
Because
god.
because it was just crazy. She said, you are chemically imbalanced.
And what was the word they used the other day?
Yo, that cut deep, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
That
Yeah,
cut deep.
you have,
What is your emotional intelligence?
yeah, emotionally
Yeah,
intelligent.
Because that's a topic for another day, but that's serious.
Emotional.
You got to know your emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
Yo, that is
That's
so deep.
It's very deep. We
Yeah.
got to talk about
like
that.
getting like self-aware or
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of
Knowing what your
self-awareness,
triggers
yeah,
are and how you're going to
How you gonna
respond
respond
to
to it,
it. Because you can't flip off every
Yeah,
time because
exactly. If you don't check that, it can be a very unhealthy
That's
situation if you don't check that.
toxic
But
cycle.
the thing
Yeah.
about it is, when you come at me with something like that,
It's
while
not
I'm
good.
just trying to sit here and look at your honor.
Yeah.
I'm minding my business. But in the moment, I'm calm. I'm chilling. I ain't bothering nobody.
I want to hear how that argument's going
Yo.
on. I want to know
I'm just
how
watching your
it's
honor.
hilarious.
The guy is, they about to kill him, and I'm sitting there like, wow. You're emotional and intelligent. What?
How did we get here? It's like, how did we get here?
Right.
Where did this come from? I'm trying to Netflix and chill right now. But like,
Right.
that's why I said like I think it is so important too, man. Y'all have like a very unique story.
You
yo.
do.
Being able to
Yeah,
come from
man.
very,
You do.
Very great, yeah.
that's
That's phenomenal.
God,
It's crazy.
That's the cheat code coming from.
But
very
I
great.
will say though, bro, like it's pros Pros and cons?
Yeah.
but it's just like
No,
go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
no, sorry. So, like
See,
you,
that's
y'all
third grade,
spoke on
because
it.
we would never done that.
Yeah, hey man, I was talking.
No, we battled that. That's one of our battles. Like that is 100% one of our battles.
Uh-huh.
But no, like you, I think one of y'all spoke on it saying that like you got it from this way and I got it from this way. We literally went to the same schools. I think we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
Went to the same schools. We grew up in the same neighborhood with the same people, but we grew up in two different households. So what you might take as, oh, that's disrespectful,
Right.
or like what you said that to me. You take it as, oh, we use that word all the time. That's what I call my cousin every day or something like that. So it's,
Yeah.
you grow up in the same neighborhoods and stuff, but you don't understand that. Your understanding of
Also-
something is
It's values, your values, your
Also-
customs,
Yeah.
your culture.
Yeah.
Also, I have different examples when it comes to relationships and marriages.
Yeah.
Like I've 100% seen couples in my family go through the worst of times, and they're beautiful now. I saw them stick it out.
Wow.
She doesn't necessarily have that example.
Okay.
So she is.
I have a few, but not.
Yeah, a few, but she's like quicker. It's easier for her to like
Dismiss
cut it
like,
off.
I'm the one that's
Like you say,
whatever.
like how you want to resolve to the situation. Like that's how I am. Like I'm willing to talk through it. Let's talk through it. Let's get to the bottom of it. Let's understand it, and let's figure out how to move forward in a healthy way.
Now, granted, when I say that, that's an evolution on my part. That's not.
Facts. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Not,
I love that.
That's not how
It wasn't always
Yeah.
like that.
Board, 'cause
Yeah.
me and my dudes, like for real, I had a guillotine. You know, a guillotine.
Right.
You know, you say my shoes are ugly. Off with your head.
Yeah.
Off with your head. I mean, I'm exaggerating.
I get you, I get you.
You know what I mean?
I get you,
It could
yeah.
be the smallest thing that I saw that I can see where that leads to. I'm not sticking around to figure out how this ends. I'm done.
Right away. Yeah.
You got one time.
Hey,
Yeah.
Shelly. You know,
Right,
I'm
yeah.
on to the next.
It's all growth. Like we've learned so much about each other, and just like you said, our emotional intelligence just through conversation, just understanding. Like, listen,
Self-aware. Self-aware.
Don't make it
I'm
about
everything. Look,
I'm
we got
sorry.
to home together. Don't
Yeah,
let that
self-aware. Self-aware. Let me make this one little point.
it makes
Yeah, it
so
makes-
much. It's a good way to summarize
What we
I know,
what it
but
is.
I-
Like,
And on top of that, it's more than one right answer. Cause y'all two just
Yeah.
give two completely different answers on how y'all handle things,
That's right.
and both answers are right.
Yeah.
Y'all really need to get, and by y'all I'm saying the other couples that are watching, or individuals looking
Exactly.
for couples. Y'all
Right.
have to get to a point where you
Figure out.
know what is your cutoff. Like you said, that guillotine was, I don't know how long ago that was, but that guillotine wasn't the wrong answer. I had to get. I told you, like, yo, you literally are like one of my 3 friends. You're like one of my 3 friends, and I was Mr. Popularity. I guillotined so many people.
Same here.
You know what I'm saying? Like I guillotined so many people, but it's
Still love them dearly, but it was
It's
a
a level.
necessary.
it's levels, man.
If they don't allow you to grow in life,
Yeah.
you know, if they don't
That's
bring
when they come
anything
up.
good to my life,
You gotta
Yeah.
go.
Or if they still have something going on in their lives where if you can just end up guilty by association,
Yeah.
like your whole, everything that you're working towards, it just crumbles because
right.
wrong place, wrong whatever.
Right.
Like it was just like, you know what, let me be smart enough and just fall back.
Yeah.
You know, bros, I still love y'all, but I have, you know, God has me on another path over here. Like I gotta go do this.
I
Like,
can't grow with y'all.
yeah, I can't do this. But yeah, man.
Like her thing was boundaries. Like boundaries is like
Wow.
her favorite word, and
It's real.
that's I didn't understand that word.
He
when we
did
first
not
met.
understand
I
boundaries.
just said that. You ain't got it. You ain't got it.
But wait, it's not just you. Most people don't. I just did a workshop. I belong to the Ladies League of Baltimore, and we just did a workshop on boundaries, and they got deep into it. It's like, what you doing with this club? What you doing with this? You know. But I said self-improvement is so important, and if you don't know, it's very important to me. And weekly, I work on me. You know, and so it's levels to boundaries.
And when you talk about growth, I just heard it the other day, so don't think I'm that wise and I came up with it. It's like the elevator. When you go up on the elevator, some people are going to get off while you're still going up.
To the top. Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's true.
They did that.
Another thing I try to stress between us is like, you know, like whatever your strong suits are, let them stay strong. Like don't start feeding into my weakness. Like be an example for me, and I'm gonna be an example for you. Like let's not do a tit for tat thing. Like oh you do this, so I do this. It's like nah. Like no, if you're strong in it, show me how to be strong in it, and then vice versa.
We had to pull each other out
Don't be
before.
talking about her.
And Torre.
We definitely had to pull each other out.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about your
Believe
partner
that.
having your blind spots. Me and her was talking the other day.
Believe
Sarah
that.
Jakes is like her favorite. Is like her
Ooh,
favorite
nice.
person.
I like Sarah.
I just got hit to Torre, and he said something amazing on the radio the other day. I think Sarah said it in reference to him. He
Okay.
came into the relationship.
That's her husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He came into the relationship, and he got a book called Balance, by the way, which is a really good book so far. I'm a couple chapters in, but
That one.
he said something about like, cultivating. Like the guy pretty much asked him, how does it feel dating somebody like Sarah Jakes? Not to put nobody on a pedestal, but like, yo, this is TD Jakes' daughter.
Right.
You're dating TD Jakes' daughter. How does that make you feel as a man? Like, kind of almost submitting to a certain extent. And he was just like, man, I came into the relationship after having a conversation with God and understanding I gotta cultivate an environment for her to flourish. Her rising doesn't bring me down. Her elevating
It allows.
does not, you know what I'm saying, does not bring me down levels. And that was so good.
Yeah, so pretty much, Jermaine and I, we've been through a lot, right? And so in our relationship, I had to come to an understanding that, we're two different people, right? But at the same time, our differences what makes us stronger because like you said, being able to, show the other person grace and being able to have a level of understanding like, hey, like, we may be different, but we can respect each other. We don't have to beat each other down.
That's
but your weaknesses can be my strong point. We have to balance each other off that way. And so, like, just pretty much just allowing us to love one another differently, which brings us to our next topic, which is the love languages. Do you know your spouse's love language? How do you show each other love? Because my love language may be different than his love language.
Absolutely.
And I have to be able to show that.
Yeah.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All up in our bedroom last night. We
Yeah.
talked about that. Love
Love
languages.
Love language.
Yeah, I was like, we have to remember, we talked about it many years ago, but we have to remember what they are
Yeah.
and how I like to be congratulated, so to speak, and how you like to be congratulated.
Right.
Yeah, like
or understand it like, your love language from 2006 may not be your love language.
Change. It could change.
You really gotta
Yeah.
gotta take that initiative, like you were saying. And I love the fact that you said you do it weekly, but like you gotta take that initiative, man, to sow into yourself. Like let me
Yeah.
study myself.
you gotta
Let
make
me
sure
see
you
where
have
I'm
it
at.
to give.
'Cause like I
Like,
said, I used
whatever
to
it
be
is.
younger me was definitely like physical touch. That was the way I'm so much more of a word of affirmation user now. Like, no, I need to hear you say it. Like, we good. We got the necessities and basics down.
And the
So-
Bible speaks to all of them, just like the use, the necessity of all of the love languages. You know, whether it be, you know, gifts of
Gifts of
words of
affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation, you know, proverbs, you know, it's a word spoken at the right time is just so powerful.
Right.
And I'm paraphrasing right now, but it's just like with the, you know, words of affirmation, whether it be gifts, whether it be touch, like the Bible touches on the necessity of all of it. Like,
All of it.
you know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
don't start with
can
love
be-
is kind, love
yeah.
is
It can
caring,
be
love is
life.
all of that.
It's like life
All
and
of
death.
Yes.
It's like life and death with that. Like, you know, you can build your partner up, or you can tear them down.
That's it.
Like, you know, like, so.
But in real life, sometimes you say tear down. In a sense, if someone's out of order, you have to tear them down, but you don't tear them down without building.
No,
Right.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have to build
You
that
do it
up.
from a place of love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you do it from a
always
place of
do
yeah,
it.
yeah. You
This
do it
is
from a
line when
place
he
of
about
love.
to tear me down, build me up.
Yeah.
When I hear this line, I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
But-
He said, oh, another thing. That's one of the lines. Then the other one is, I have a bone to pick with you. When I hear those lines, I'm already okay.
Triggered right away.
I'm already okay. Here we
I
are.
hate that.
I'm already okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'm even at this stage. I'm still getting used to it. But I understand that we got to talk about this and not let it be like it's not going to dissipate. You know, we got to talk about it in order
I
for
try
it to.
to change and say we need to have a conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
That sounds
You did. That when he said that, I was like, ooh.
right. Like,
Yeah.
I was
I'm
like,
like,
I was like,
we need to talk about this.
We even getting better with it.
Conversation. I say that because a conversation. I don't want to come and argue.
Right.
You know.
Facts.
I
Want to be
Yeah.
don't want
facts.
to come because I don't
Facts.
like the confrontation.
No, yeah, facts.
You know,
yes.
He don't want me to be
Facts.
dramatic.
I don't
That's
like
what
the
he's saying.
I don't like it either. I don't like it. Like I'm really trying to. I can't really articulate when I'm angry.
No.
So I have to do it at a certain
level.
for me to like really even get my point across.
But
Like,
you know, but I want to say this too, because I don't want to like lead people like astray. Arguments are going to happen.
Yeah, they're going to happen.
Yeah, they're gonna
I think
happen.
I think they're healthy.
God
Yeah.
is such a
You
funny
right.
guy. Like, man, he's such a funny guy that he makes us be in relationship with people that are typically the exact opposite.
Opposite. We're
That's just the way
opposite.
it's going to. Like, Jazz loves talking about stuff in the moment.
We talk about
I
that.
can't do that. I cannot do that. Like, yo, if you just made me
In
mad
the
about
moment.
something,
I don't
if
wanna
you
talk
just
to
made
you.
me mad about something, the last thing I want to do is talk about what I'm mad about.
Exactly. That's
right
me.
now.
I'm in
See,
the
I
moment.
can
That's
Anytime-
me. I don't want to talk
I
about
hate
it.
it, bro.
I can do it because, yo, I don't want to harbor it.
Right.
Because the only thing, listen,
Stress.
if I
Yes.
throughout life has been certain things that I've just harbored and it just wasn't beneficial.
See, what you call harbor, though,
Mm-hmm.
on the flip side of that, the other side of that coin, it's processing. Like,
Exactly.
you're trying to talk
That's
to me.
true.
I
Y'all
don't
unpack
even
that
have-
shit.
I don't have the words.
That's true.
I don't have the
Exactly.
words. I don't have the thoughts. I don't have the emotional like temperature
You
yet.
had your time
The
to
emotional
speak.
intelligence. Drop my.
Yeah.
I don't have that yet.
You had
But that's
time to
true.
speak on that and to think about it, but you just coming to me with it, so I didn't have that time to process it yet. So you need to give me that time to process it, and then we can come and talk
Exactly.
about it. Everybody
Yeah.
with cooler heads prevail. Because
With cooler
if you
heads
come at me
prevail.
after you just told me, oh, you this, and this, or you have a chemical imbalance, then,
Yeah.
and you think I'm gonna be like, oh,
all
yeah,
right.
well, you're
I'm
so
gonna show you a
right.
chemical imbalance.
No, we
We can't talk like that.
I'm gonna process that, like you
But
said.
it's-
I'm gonna process it, and then I'm gonna come back and be like, you know, I might have a little bit of a chemical imbalance.
But it's just
But-
like not. It's just to me. It's just never that deep. Like I've always said to her, it's only a few hard lines that I have in the sand that's gonna really make me say we can't do this anymore. So it's just like, yo, if I realize it's just, yo, it's not that
That's
heavy.
serious, right?
Like it's nothing. And through my eyes, and I'm just speaking for myself. It's nothing that I need to go off to the side and unpack.
But you
Like,
know
it's
what's
just
crazy?
like-
but
There's
we
a
had-
but there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
There's a
we,
but there,
we
it's
had
definitely-
this conversation maybe 2 weeks ago, in reference to the metaphor with a person with the person that's claustrophobic. A person that's claustrophobic. If you was to lock them in a closet, in that person's brain, the walls are closing.
Okay.
in.
Sure.
The walls are
Yeah.
closing in to that person.
Yeah.
But to the person on the outside, like, yo, you tripping, bro. You just in a closet. Relax.
Yeah.
No, but that walls closing in is very real
Yeah,
to
to
the
that
individual.
to that
So
individual,
it
yeah.
not being deep to you in
Right.
that moment.
Exactly.
It's not- it's
It
not-
don't
yeah.
mean it is
It's
not
not
deep
deep
to
to
me.
another person.
You know what I'm saying? It don't
Which
change
is-
the reality for the other
Other
person.
person, yeah.
So
But you know there's a difference.
Go ahead.
There's a difference between the way men process information and the way women process. Remember the book years ago, Men Are From Mars?
Yeah.
Women Are
Yeah,
From...
yeah.
It's very true. If you haven't read that book, still read it because the way the frontal lobe and the right side of the brain, the left side, all of that goes into play with how we respond to trauma. All of it.
Yeah,
It really
that's true.
does. And so we got to kind of like take a look back. And when he says, he uses the word unpack a lot. I'm like, well, how deep is this for you?
Yeah.
And it's not so much that, but it's the way he processes. And my male students is the same at work. My male students versus my female, they be like, okay, Miss West, we ready to go. The boys sitting back like, what did she just say?
Right.
And not that it's not a slow fast, but yeah, sometimes it is a slow fast because they're sitting back and saying, okay, what do I do first? Second, third. Women, we are multitaskers by nature.
Yes.
By
Let's
nature,
go.
it's innate. We are born that way to be boom, 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 boom. We are that way to be boom, 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 boom.
I think that's a
So
lot with personality, because she's one that, like she said, boom, 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 whatever that means.
Yeah.
multitask.
And I'm an unpacker.
Yeah,
I gotta sit back.
And both are right.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I agree.
Yo, you have to allow space.
All right, man. So, small little transition, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Man. We
We
make it
back.
do what it do, man. We had a lot that we kind of unpacked on this episode, man. I love y'all and appreciate y'all so
Oh,
much.
blessing.
Yeah,
y'all
same,
energy was
same,
amazing.
man, same.
Right.
Y'all gave
Love
us a
it.
lot to kind of unpack, but now, it's, like you said, it's time
Time to
to
pack it up.
pack it on up. It's time to pack it on up.
Yeah, man. So, man, yeah. Once again, thank y'all so much for coming. Rich,
Thank y'all.
Sherry, Jasmine, Jermaine,
Rick.
wife, I love you. I said Rich. I said Rich. Yeah, come on, pay attention. Come on.
I missed it too.
Oh, you missed that?
Rain
You missed
style.
that?
All
Come on.
All right.
My man. We good. Man, come on. All right, so yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
All that.
Yeah, all that, man. Oh, yeah. We almost forgot one thing. Just some transparency for y'all and some vulnerability, just to let you guys all the way in. This is actually the third episode, technically, but this is going to be the first episode because the first two episodes sucked. Right, so, I'm just keeping listening.
Trial and error, man.
Trial and error,
Trial
man.
and
Listen,
error.
try to listen, man. But yeah, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please come back. Also, the clothing brand, you can't be God's Grace, YCBGG. Stay tuned for the website that will be coming soon. Feels nice. It feels wonderful, man. I'm telling you.
Love y'all, man.
Yeah, we love you guys, man.
Yeah.
Tune in to Around the Table.
Around.
I said Around the Table. I'm sorry.
Blame the cup, man. Blame the communion one.
I'm mixing. Blame the communion. I'm mixing a little bit over here.
Yeah,
but,
around the island, man.
Around the
Around the
island, man.
island.
Love you guys.
Welcome.
Peace.
Peace.
Salute.
Salute.
Salute.